Alright, TikTok, welcome back. This is part 3 of I have a stalker up in my attic. Lives up in my attic. I know, it's crazy. Starting off, this is a disclaimer real quick. This is personal experience, educational purposes only. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an expert, and I'm not giving you any kind of advice. In the grand scheme of things, I know nothing. If you are experiencing similar situations, you can seek help if you want. They're not going to believe you, and they're going to think you're crazy. So, also, allegedly, there's an ex-husband, a baby daddy, and a very motivated hacker who dwells in the attic, who is highly motivated on this information not getting out. So, I know, it's very conspiracy theorist energy. You could say scandalous. Either way, let's get to the story. Now, I have it on my phone because I was going to do all that like editing stuff, and I'm still just not an editor. I am going to show you the texts and the things that were sent to me at the time that this was all taking place. Now, let me get the date specifically. Okay, so this was, I want to say roughly 2 weeks ago, when my ex was out of town working for, he just does that. He works on wires, we'll say. And normally, like, all this stuff really started to snowball going on in my house. Like, this dude was making his presence known all the time, and I felt watched all the time. He was jumping around. He was, like, he just let me know that he was there all the time, and he was being a nuisance. Like I said, jumping around. Now, right before my ex left town, I had met with the people who run my apartment complex, right? And they told me, they said, we will put a lock on your lock, which I already had a lock there, and a lock on the neighbor's door. And they didn't put a lock on the neighbor's door because he was immediately right back up there. Now, how do I know? Because he was jumping on the beams all night. All night. Like, it's crazy the amount of effort this dude has put into all of this. Now, my ex, even though he is my ex, he has always been very, very giving. He will give me money for anything and everything under the sun, okay? And he's always, like, trying to be this, he shows up, right? In very many ways. So when he started acting like this, it didn't make any sense. So at the peak of this, like, I'm telling him what's going on, okay? I'm telling him what's going on. I'm telling him that I'm scared. I'm telling him that my things are hacked. And, like, you can see, I'll pull up a picture of that too, but this hacker dude had hacked into my main account, okay? And there's all the warnings on there, and he did not believe it, my ex. He would not believe it. He's like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. I was like, dude. So one Saturday, I'm, like, at top notch, like, just scared to death, ready to get out of here. And I'm asking my ex, I'm like, please. Now, he's on Storm. He's making so much money at this point, like, that's just what happens. Like, he goes and he makes buku bucks. I mean, thousands on thousands a day, okay? Never has there ever been a problem. I can call him for, like, toilet paper, and he'll send me $200, okay? And I'll show you proof of that here in just a second. So, one night when all this is taking place, I'm freezing. My furnace here is not working correctly. And, you know, in my head, I'm a bit like, why isn't this working? Like, why is my heating not working? Now, I know he can't affect my furnace, okay? But at the same time, it's like this weird, eerie feeling of, like, bad juju. I don't know. I know he's not affecting my furnace, okay? But I'm telling my ex this, and I'm like, I am freezing, and I can't get this to work, and I could use a heater. And he goes, I said, he had sent me $200 earlier that same day to go and get a room and get a ride there. I had inconvenience after inconvenience happen while I was out and about, and I even went, I was like, I'll buy a new phone so they don't know where I'm at. I know this sounds totally, like, crazy, but at this point, if you were here and you felt this stuff, you'd be right there with me, man. So I bought a new phone, got rid of my other one, and I'm trying to upload all my stuff, and I should have kept my phone, and it just was inconvenience after inconvenience. And I was having a hard time getting logged back into my Venmo, and my ex is like, why are you still there, and why are you texting me from a different number? I said, I had inconvenience after inconvenience. he took my other phone over, and he did. Like, I could not send anything out. I couldn't get on Facebook. I couldn't upload any type of video. There was no type of information that I was going to be able to put out. And then, I want to say, like, the main thing was I couldn't get any information out. I recorded 3 videos the night this really started to take off. And when I went back to my library to pull them up, to upload them, he had deleted all of them already. He hacked all my important apps. I'm basically a prisoner here. And then my ex didn't say anything. He goes, I'm watching fights. Now, mind you, this is not my ex's normal behavior or mannerism with me. I put, you're enjoying this. And my personal opinion is I think he's been totally possessed by a demon at this point. If you guys think that's crazy, I will give you a video on that and hopefully open your eyes a little bit, because that's all really life is possession. Sounds wild, I know, but the way the world is nowadays, you should really take a second to really think about it. He goes, I don't enjoy doing this. This is over the top weird, very childish and disappointing. He doesn't talk to me like this. He does not talk to me like this. And then I don't have any other... What stinks about it is I don't have any messages, because I got rid of that phone, of how he normally talks to me, which is very caring, very there for me. Very, if you need anything, let me know. And I said, you don't even make sense. You're trying to play it cool because you know exactly what is going on. He goes, you've done and said some real fucked up shit. I see you vastly different in a vastly negative way. He never talks to me like this. Ever. So none of it makes sense. None of the way he was acting this day and a few days after makes sense, because then after, once he gets back in town, the day he's back in town, well, he's ready to meet up with me. And he was over here, surely, very quickly, to bring me a couple of heaters, because my place is cold, right? And then he sent me $1,000 the day before. Actually, $1,100. Now, in the midst of all these moments where I'm, like, upset, right? And I'm like, please just send me money to my different accounts so I can get out of the house, please. He'd be like, go find a way to get that other $200. So on and so forth. Like, it didn't make any sense for him to be such a dick, because look, when you look at back and forth with how he spent money, there's the 1,000. Hopefully you can see that. There's the 1,000 right there. Right before that, 100. Okay, so he sent me that. Then it's just, there's 20. All the green ones are him. 20, there's 200. That's Venmo rewards. There's another 100. There's 25. I mean, constant. 50. He always sent me whatever I asked for, whenever I asked for it. Those are on my, essentials. Things randomly around the house. Sure, no problem. Sends me how much? $200 for it. I barely had to say please. Okay? And it goes on. Another 100. There's 30. 250. I mean, he has always been there for me monetarily, and for him just to go and switch, like, his story and his behavior at the same time, all of this is escalating. It goes to me, it tells me he hired this dude, because I've had 4 other neighbors that have done this. 4 other neighbors. Who's to say he didn't go up to each one of them and say, hey, you know what? How about if I give you X amount of money, you go up there and watch her? Because he was the very first person in all of these situations, all of these monitoring, like this person watching me, somebody from the attic. He was also the very first person, after I'd heard a few different things, to say, hey, maybe somebody's up in the attic. The fuck? Red flag. And I've kept it as a red flag, but I never would have thought he would be so low to fucking do that. But I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty sure it's him. I'm pretty sure he is he's the bank in all of this. The one making sure people are getting paid to try and fuck with my head and keep me in this low vibration. So, that's story time number 3, part 3. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.